All right, boys and girls, so I promised you simple builds, and we're gonna do simple builds. And I don't know if you guys seen these last one where we're working with nightstands, and I hope it was simple enough for you guys to try, but not scary enough to you be intimidated by it. This time, I think we're gonna crank it up a notch, go bigger build, something we all need, right? We're gonna do a bed. It's big, so a little intimidating, but I think I'm gonna simplify it even more than the last build. It's gonna be my goal and my mission to even avoid a table saw on this. I'm gonna create one massive headboard. I mean, we're talking the sucker's gonna be like 5 feet tall. And then obviously, we're gonna have the footboard here, smaller, connecting there, and like that. Here's the kicker, to really make it really cool, we're gonna give it not a chevron, not a hexagon pattern or a herringbone pattern. We're gonna give it like more of that chevron feel. So maybe we would come out here, do one of these bad boys on it, boom, 45-degree angles, and then flip that sucker upside down and continue that pattern this way, okay? Then this is gonna be solid wood, and then we're gonna have our slats here, big old mattress for lovemaking. Yeah, I think it'll be a really cool statement piece, and I am on a mission to simplify it for you guys. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video, let's go. All right, guys, let's talk about sponsor of today's video, Ariat. Now, you know I've been a fan of Ariat way before they're a sponsor of any of my videos. You guys seen my cowboy boots? Well, with the holiday seasons approaching, Ariat's doing an awesome sale that runs to the end of this month. All the links will be down in the description. I want to share some of my favorite things that they have to offer. This is the Ariat FR knit t-shirt. It's flame resistant. Hey, it's not doing anything. Really comfortable, moisture control, super soft, and tough. These are their M4 rebar jeans. They're super comfortable, stretch material, great for working. Look at all these stains. I work in them. These are my rebar wedge 6-inch boot. They are comfortable. I mean, look at that. I put them through the ringer. They're tough. Check this out, something really cool. Recently, I went hunting in snow. It was like 9-inch snow, and I decided to wear my Ariat Endeavor boots. Waterproof, 6 to 9 inches of snow. Check this out. My feet could not have been any more drier. If you don't have a heated shop, you need some good workwear. This is my Duralite stretch canvas. Again, flame resistance, the FR edition. Super comfortable. You guys see me talk about this plenty of times. Again, how cool is that? I love this workwear. It's comfortable. It's not stiff like some of the other stuff out there. Go check it out. All the links will be down in the description, including the 10% off your first order, as well as check out the links for all their holiday sales. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get back to this video. Let's go. All right, so we have here is our lumber, and I just picked it all up. We have 2 sheets that are 4x8. This is just 1/2 inch. You don't need anything special, but 1/2 inch is important. We have about 6 boards that are 2x4s, 8 feet long. I have 6 of them, hopefully it'll be enough. And then this is the bread and butter here. These are just 1x4s. This is the cheapest wood your closest hardware store carries. I think they call it like common wood or something. It's 1x4s. I got 16 pieces here. They're 10 feet long. And this is roughly around 300 bucks. So I think this is probably about 90%, 95% for our entire build. So hopefully we'll stay in the budget. Now I want the headboard to be tall, so I want it to be about 5 feet tall. Problem with these plywoods is they go 4 feet, so we need an extra foot. So we're gonna take an extra piece of plywood, cut 12 inches off of it, and attach it from here to extend that way. And then we'll reinforce it on the back side. So here's our headboard, and like I promised, don't kill yourself. There you go, nobody died. So one side will be our front side, and the other side will be our back side. For the back side, see this little cut right here? This is a scrap piece, the leftover part. So what we're gonna do is, from the back side, we're gonna glue and nail that. So it's almost like a split. In order to have the best success for us, we're gonna sand them first. A quick 220, just to clean up the edges so it could stain a little bit easier, not blotchy. Plus we're gonna get rid of all this, the stain, or the stamps that are on here. We need stain, so this is all prepped. Let's go pick out some stain. We need a few of the stains. I want to keep this as light as possible, so I got a few here. This is called Natural from Minwax. This is Pickled Oak, that'll be great. We've used flint on a few things. It's got a little hint of grayness to it. And we'll start applying it just to the first coats. One light coat. We want to keep this as light as possible. You can use, these are stain sponges. They absorb it, and it's basically like one thick, applicator that kind of keeps tapping into the stain. Highly discourage people from using rags, especially because most of the time people are using the wrong kind of rags. There's the right ones, like lint-free and stuff like that. Then get a little towel, so we'll apply our first coat, apply it on, wipe it off real quick, and then we'll just kind of truck through them. Just changing off, one board will be this color, that color, this color, that color, and then just give it a little diversity. Okay, so the stain's coming in real good, a couple of lighter coats in multiple application, but overall, not too bad. Okay, so we have our stuff stained. I had natural stain. I got rid of it because it didn't look like it was doing anything, and I already have like a lightish stain. So the overall colors are Fruitwood, which is our classic, our Pickled Oak, our Flint, which is a little dark, and then our Weathered Oak. Once it dries, I'll give it a quick light coat with 220 grit sanding. It'll brighten it up. It'll even out this kind of color palette. Feels so sophisticated. Color palette. Nice, like a cooking channel. Real quickly, safety advice. Do not dispose these stain rags just by themselves. They can cause fires. They're super combustible with like the slightest amount of warm weather. Get a bucket like this or any kind of bucket, fill it up with water, and just have that be the place you dispose it. After that stuff absorbs and soaks up the water, after that you can start disposing it somewhere else. But in the meantime, this keeps it from getting you in trouble. The first thing we want to do to start creating this pattern is getting our center line, because that's going to be our true center line. Get a little marking there, got a little marking there, and we're gonna scream to the world that this is our center. We had to come down to the floor because the table caused this thing to flex, and that's gonna be a big no-no because it's gonna create a bend in our board, and we don't want that. So these are 10-foot long boards. The longest part shouldn't exceed 5 feet. So we're gonna split it in half to make it easier to work with. Use our circular saw and the speed square. At this point, all we have to do is create a 45-degree. Now, if you don't own a miter saw, which I think you should, use our circ saw. Line up this line with that edge. Perfect. It's exceeding. We want it to exceed because later on we can make a nice true cut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some wood glue, flip her over, and just because we're good students, we're going to make sure that this angle is not swiveling anywhere. We're going to use 1 inch brad nails, not 3/4 inch like we used before, every maybe 16 inches, and we're looking good. So now we're going to continue the same pattern. In the meantime, let's have some really cool B-roll while we're doing this. Let's go. thrifty with our lumber as we can possibly do it. We're gonna chop off this excess, leaving about an inch before it touches the plywood, just using a circular saw to do this, and then we're gonna take this wood and bring it over to that section. I have to now square this thing off and get rid of all this overhang. If you're wondering, well, I don't have a track, so how can I accomplish this? Easy peasy. Grab one of these long, 1x4s or whatever you have, and then clamp it down on both ends, and then just use your circular saw and just use it as a guiding edge. So that's just the same way you can accomplish this. What I gotta do now left is the footboard, and the cool thing about it is it's gonna be way quicker. Just to be safe, I bought 4 more boards, spent about an extra 50 bucks today, so all in right now we're 350 bucks. Hopefully we can keep it at that. Now, I'm gonna wrap it with 2x4s. It's gonna give it a nice, cool, like depth of feel to it. To secure the 2x4s around it, we're gonna put pocket holes. You can just get a nice $20 Craig Mini. I have a link in my description, you guys check out. We're just gonna clamp it here. We're gonna use our special drill bit with the stop collar that comes with this kit. We're gonna put a pocket hole in here. We're gonna take our 2x4s, wrap it, and secure it with the appropriate screws and of course wood glue. Now let me show you these 2x4s that we're working with here. These are the 2x4s that we're going with, and if you're thinking, my oh my, these are clean 2x4s, well, I sanded them down a little bit just to clean them up, and I recommend you do the same. It's really hard to find a good set of 2x4s because most of the time they're used for studs and walls. Clean them up, they'll be good to go. We're gonna cut them up and secure them with screws. Bada bing, bada boom. If that's not the Mona Lisa, I don't know what is. The only thing that's kind of the big part left of this project are these side rails. Let me show you what the materials we're thinking about using here. Two 2x12s. These are 10 footers, so we'll cut them up to size, give it a good sand. Here's my issue. Once everything was wrapped around here, I don't like that once we put clear coat on, the 2x4 is gonna become like more this like amberish yellow color. Instead, I'm gonna give it that same stain as this white. I think it's called pickled oak. So I'll mask everything off and stain that as well as those side rails. What we're gonna do is on the back side, as you can see, I didn't stain it just because nobody's gonna see it. We're gonna start talking about attaching it. So we're gonna take a 2x2 and we're gonna secure it in place, maybe recessed in from here, pick a number, I'll say 1.5 inches. We'll secure it with screws and glue, of course, on both sides. After that's done, we'll put pocket holes, because that's what's gonna hold them to the headboard, to the footboard, and that'll be our connecting bridge. That being said, we are so close to actually having a full-time bed here. So let's see what we can do. Clear coat. We gotta protect this stain. I always recommend spraying. This is a HULP sprayer. This one's like 50, 60 bucks. This is my go-to all the time. It's always loaded. I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna do like maybe 3 coats, let it dry, and then we'll start assembling. Okay, so we have our frame up. If you didn't notice, I'm using this little spacers, make sure it's an even spacing off the ground. What we're gonna do next is take this 2x4 that I put some pocket holes in the end, and I'm gonna reinforce the middle here. Now the reason why I'm gonna reinforce it, you're asking, is because we're gonna have slats here. The slats are basically what the mattress is gonna sit on, and this is to keep it from bending down the middle too hard. Now these are just 1x3s, and they're about $4 a piece at 8 feet long. I trimmed these down to 77 3/4. And we're gonna space them out as evenly as we can. About 12 of those. You should be fine with 12 as well. Support down the middle. Well, there'll be support down the middle. And then this will be a really solid structure. Hey, that is it for me this week. Thanks so much for sticking around watching yet another one of my videos. Guys, you know it means the world to me. If you guys like videos like this or any other kind of home improvement project, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Very important. That way you'll be alerted every time I put a video out. I hope this was an inspiring video for you guys to try and build some really cool furniture. I know it looks big. I know it might look intimidating, but you know, courage and sweat. That's our motto. You need the courage to try these projects and the sweat, the hard work to get through them and go through some problems. And the end is gonna make us better builders and better people. If you wanna connect with me, check me out on all my social medias. All the links will be down in the description below, as well as my podcast that I host with my wife Irina called Next Door Neighbors, and available on all platforms. Check me out on all my merch section, Courage and Sweat, and my Patreon, which helps support this channel. Tune out this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye.